Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at HTML and CSS. HTML and CSS are very important when you want to develop a static website, or even when you want to create your dynamic website. They are the languages of the web. HTML simply stands for Hypertext Markup Language. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. We're going to combine HTML and CSS in trying to build out a website. So to do this, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So the first thing that you're supposed to do if you want to build out a website using HTML and CSS is to create a folder on your desktop. Abby, that was the first thing you guys did, creating a folder. So to do that, I'm going to right click on my desktop. I'm going to go to new. I'm going to go to folder. So the name of the folder, I'm going to call it Austin. So this folder is supposed to be your website folder. You understand? So if somebody wants to get to your website, you can be able to say www.austin.com. You understand? That name that you're supposed to give your domain name, it's good you give it as the name of the folder. So this folder is going to contain web pages like your index.html, contactors.html, services.html. Is that clear? So once you've created this folder, open up your VS Code, Visual Studio Code, which is the editor that you're going to be using to write the code. Is that clear? Then open that folder in your VS Code by going to File. Once you click on File, click on Open Folder. Once you click on Open Folder, you're going to see your Explorer. So search for the name of that folder that you saved. In my case, I saved it with Austin. So I click on this Austin and click on Select Folder. So this Austin folder is going to be opened up in my VS Code so that I can start creating my various pages. Are we clear on that? So the first step you take is what? Going to your desktop to create the folder. Then open your VS Code and open up that folder in your VS Code. So once the folder is opened up in your VS Code, you can then start typing out the code. Is that clear? So you start the code by typing the index.html first, which is your first page, which is going to work as your home page. Is that clear? After that, you create your contactors.html, create your about us, services, any page you want to create. Are we clear on that? So my VS Code is now open. So I'm going to do Control Backtick or go to terminal, click on terminal and click on new terminal so that you can get this terminal. So close out this welcome page that is here. So this is our Austin folder. So I'm going to create my first web page. To do that, I'm going to hover over here and click on new file. So I'm going to type what? Index.html. And I press the enter key. So that's going to be my first web page. And it's going to open up to the editor so that I can start typing. So this is my index.html. It's opened up here. So let me type out create my first HTML page. So to do that, you must open up HTML tag. Anything that you enclose in an angle bracket, we call it tag. You understand? So you open up one, then you close it up. So how you know the closing tag is when it has a forward slash. So you can see that the closing tag has a forward slash. So this is opening, this is closing. Exactly. So that tells the browser that, or the browser that, or this very VS Code that this is a HTML document. So inside this HTML, the major divisions of the body are the head and the other part of the body. Understand? So those divisions, you are going to create it by simply saying what? Head. So once I put the head, I close it up immediately. Then when I come down here, I'm going to now create the body tag by using this angle bracket to create the what? Body tag. So that is the head and the body, which is the major divisions of my body. Then inside the head, you have the most important thing, which is the eye. So in that same way, inside this head, I'm going to have the most important thing, which is the word title, which is the word title, and the title I'm going to give this is, I'm going to call it Austin's Web. That's the title. So inside the body is where you have the rest of the things you want to be on your website, and I'm going to simply say, this is my first website. So once I'm done typing my code, I can simply do Ctrl S to save. And if I right click on my VS Code, I can see where they wrote open with live server. Live server enables us to launch to our browser, which is Google Chrome, without having to go to the folder and do it manually. So you can see that this website is open here. You can see here where I have my title, I have Austin's Web. Then where I have this is my first website is in the body. And that is how you write your first HTML code. So make sure you understand this structure. It has to start with HTML and close with it. How you know the closing is by /. Then inside the main HTML, you have the two major divisions, which is our head and the rest of the body. The head contains the I, which is the title, and that title is what you will see inside this place. But the rest of the thing that comes in the website is what you see down here. So as a programmer, what you do is that you continue to code on here, then your clients see what you've done on the browser. So I'm going to add up something inside here by simply saying, inside this my body, I want the background to be yellow. So I'm going to simply give a space here and say BG color. That's how you give a background equal to yellow. So once I say by doing Ctrl S, my web page here will automatically have a yellow color. So as a programmer, the more codes you write here, the better you see it on the screen. So I'm going to create other web pages. You understand? So how do you create web pages? I can simply copy out this very one that I have here by right-clicking, selecting and right-clicking. Then I come here and go to new file. So I'm going to have another web page known as contactus.html. So once I press the enter key, it will open it up here. So I'm going to paste it here. In order for me to know that this is different, okay. Yeah, I created a new file known as contactus.html. So I now came there and pasted what I copied from index. So they're having the same structure. But to differentiate them, I'm going to give this one another color. So instead of background color to be yellow, I'm going to give it a background color to be red. Then I save. I'm going to create another file again by coming here and click on new file. And I'm going to call this one services.html. Make sure you save it with .html because that's how it's going to know that it's .html. So I'm going to also paste this here. Then I'll change the background color from yellow to green. So in that way, inside our website, which is this folder, Austin, we now have three web pages. Number one is index.html, number two is services.html, and number three is contactus.html. You understand? So we can now change their contents. So the only thing we've changed are their colors. So we can add up more things. So the experiment what we can add, I'm going to add up a link to these three pages. So to add a link, I'm going to do it on top of this place. This is the code to add a link. You simply put your angle bracket, write a href, then equal to, you put the name of the file that you want to link to. So I'm going to link to index.html first. So I'm going to say index.html. Then I'm going to close up this. So what name do I want my index.html to be answering? I want it to answer the home page. So in that same way, I'll create another link for the other page. Which other page am I having? Contactus.html. So I say a href equal to contactus.html. Now, what do I want this page to be called? I'm going to call it contact us. Please let it be in capital letter. contact us. Okay, so that's the next link. I also want to link the final page, which is the what? Services page. So to link it, I also say a href equal to services.html. So what do I call it? Capital letter services. So I now have these three links. So I'm going to do Ctrl S to save this. Then copy these three links exactly the way it is here and put it on these other pages so that I can be able to link up the three web pages that I have. So I put it here. Please make sure once you put, you do Ctrl S to save. Then I'm going to also put it here. Then Ctrl S to save. So once I get back now, I can see I'm having three links. So if I click on this, this is home. This is contact us with a different red color. These services with a different green color. So I'm going to take this down so that it will be on a different line from our links. So to do that, I simply get to this place and I'll put break. That's what you use in BR to get it to another line. So I'm going to do Ctrl S to save so that when I come back here and refresh, get back to my home, you can see that it's on another line. So let me effectively make that possible for the rest of the code. So I'll come here, I put BR, make sure it's in small letters, then do Ctrl S to save, then do same for the services. So I come here and put BR and save. So we can now see that my code is looking pretty much better. So that is how you bring in links. So these links, they are on the three pages because I have the codes, this linking code on three of them. So this is for the index, this is for the contact us, and this is for the services. So we're going to learn how to bring in a picture on our web page. So to bring in a picture, I'm going to do that down here. I'm going to put BR so that it will not be on the same line. Then when I come to bring in a picture, this is the code for picture. IMG, which stands for image. SRC, which stands for the source of that image. And the image I'm going to put, I'm going to call it pic1.jpg. That's the name of the image. So I'm going to close this out. So I'm going to do Ctrl S to save. Now, this is the image I'm going to use, pic1, pic2. So make sure you copy that image. I'm going to do Ctrl Alt to select. So I'm going to copy all the whole of this image. Then I go to the folder that I created on the desktop, which is my website, Austin. And I open it. I'm going to paste that image here. So we now have the images on this. So once you refresh now, you're going to see that there is my image is now here, but it's very, very big. So I'm going to change the size. So how do I change the size of this image? By giving it an attribute known as width. And that width is going to be equal to 200. And I'm also going to give it height. And the height is going to be equal to 200. So if I save this one now, Ctrl S, I'm going to see that image is now well sized. So that is how you bring in an image in a web page. So I'm going to bring in different images for the different web pages. So I'm going to copy this image code, which is on the services. I'll put it under contact us here. But I'll change this from pic1 to picture 2 because I have that. And remember to also put break here so that the image will not be on the same line as the other one. So I'll go to my index. I'll still put this image here. So make sure you take note of the code for you to bring in images. So I'm going to change this to pic3. So those are my images now. So if I get back, you can see my home is having an image. Contact us is having a different image. and services is having a different image. So that is how you bring in images on your system. And you can see all of them are linked out. So we're going to bring in another HTML element known as head 1 or head 2. So I'm going to click here. I'm inside my index.html. So I'm going to put the anchor bracket and say head 1, which is going to be the header 1. So I'm going to say Austin Travel Agency. So let's see the effect of this. If I say Ctrl S to save, and if I come back here and click on the home, which is the index, you can see it here, Austin Travel Agency. It is big because I enclosed it in head 1. So you can have head 1, you can have head 2, you can have head 3, up to head 6. That's the highest, you understand? If it is head 1, it will be very big. Head 2 will be smaller, 3 will be smaller. 6 is the smallest. So let's try this out by taking this header element. We'll put it under contact us. But this time around, instead of using head 1, want to use head 2 so that we can see the difference between head 1 and head 2. So I'm going to save this. So I'll click on contact. So this is head 1. You can see how bold it is. If you click on contact us, you're going to see that it's smaller. This Austin Travel Agency here is smaller. So if I go to services and still put the same code, but this time around, naming it what? H3. You can see that H3 is even smaller than H2. So I'm going to do Ctrl S to save. So if I get back now, services, you can see that it's even smaller. So that is how you can get this. Diamond, I hope you can hear me. Diamond, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
So let's continue. So these are the various, we now have 3 pages. You can see the pictures. But there's what we call separation of concerns in coding. It's always good you have your pictures inside a folder known as images folder. So I'm going to click on my Austin's, which is my main folder. I'm going to click on new folder because I want to create 2 more folders. One for the images. I want to keep all the images here. So that's the new folder now. Then I click on Austin again. Then I hover over another new folder. I'm going to have CSS, which is our cascading style sheet that will make our website to look better. So I have these 2 folders. I'm going to copy all these pictures and put them inside the images folder. So to do that, I can simply go to my Explorer. So this is where my folder is, Austin. So I'm going to select these 3 pictures. I click the first one, hold down the shift key, select or right click and say cut. So once I cut, I will now go to the images folder, then Ctrl V, I'll paste them. So they are not there. So my link will no longer work again. You can see my pictures are no longer showing. So to make them show, I have to go back to my codes and refer to them appropriately. So if I go to this image, I'm going to click here and say what? Images, which is the name of the folder, / pick 1. So what it does is that it goes into this images folder and is able to see pick 1 there. So if I save now, it should come out well. Now you can see that my image is now coming out. So make sure you do the same for all the other pages. So I'll come here. So in front of this pick 3, I must put what? Images /. Then I save. Then I go to my contact us. I also put what? Images /. Okay. So that is how that is going to be done. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to introduce another tag. Let me open up my home, my index.html. I'll introduce another tag known as paragraph tag. So paragraph is what you use when you want to make a write-up. So let me make a paragraph tag now. So to make a paragraph tag, I say put the anchor bracket and put P. So I'll now put the write-up inside here. So the write-up is going to be, this is Augustine website for his travel and tour business. Okay, so if I now save by doing Ctrl X, I'm gonna see it here. This is Augustine website for travel and tour business. Okay, so I have it only in the home page, so it's not gonna be here, neither will it be here. Okay, so another changes I'm gonna make is that I'm gonna go to services and I'm gonna introduce something known as I'm gonna introduce an element known as ordered list. So to introduce it, you simply say, put the angle brackets OL, close it up, and inside it you're gonna have the list. So I'm gonna have the list 1, and list 1 is gonna be my services. Number 1 is Uber. In Austin Travel Agents, we are gonna be doing Uber services. We're gonna help our customers to get Uber. Okay. Then apart from Uber, I'm gonna make another list, and I'm gonna have a hotel. We're gonna be able to book hotels for our customers, hotel bookings. Then apart from hotel bookings, we should be able to help our customers that want to do tour. So we're gonna be able to do tour. So those are my 3 services. I'm gonna do Ctrl S to save. So let's see how this ordered list comes out. So it's under services. I'll click on services. You can see the list: Uber services, hotel booking, and tour. So that's how you can bring in list. So this list can be ordered or unordered list. So if you change what we have here from O means ordered. If you change it to U, which is unordered, so make sure you also change it in the closing tag. So do Ctrl S to save. If you come here now, it will change from 1, 2, 3 to ... because it's now on ordered list. So you can see all the links are still working. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is to introduce what we call CSS. So how do we use CSS to make our website to look better? So you can see the folder for the CSS. I'll click on it. Then I'll click on new file. Then the name of our CSS is going to be style.css. I press the enter key. So when you say .css, it means that you're telling it that this is a CSS file. So what is this CSS going to do? It's going to be able to style the various elements that are on our HTML. So which element do I want to style? Do I want to style the ahref element, or the h1 element, or the paragraph element? I want to style the h1 element. So because I want to style the h1 element, when I get to my style sheet, I'm going to say h1. Then I'm going to put the curly bracket, press the enter key. So what styles do I want to give? I want every letter in the head 1 to have the color of blue. So I want it to have the color of blue. So I say blue, then put semicolon, give space, color, gives semicolon, give space, then I write blue, and I put the semicolon. So that's how you give it the color blue. So if I save this and I go to my index.html, this what this is supposed to do is when you get to your index, it's going to check everything that is under H1, which is Austin Travel. It's going to check it and make the color to be blue. So this Austin Travel is supposed to be blue. But first of all, we have to link it to this page so that you can be able to see this style.css. And to link it, you come to your header. So you need to write this code for linking. The code for linking is link space rel. So you tell it what type of file is this. This is a what? Inside a quote, you say style sheet. That's the first thing you tell it. Then you give it the reference by saying href equal to, where is your style sheet? Where is it located? It is located inside the what? CSS folder. Then the name of the file is what? Style.css. So that is how you tell it where it is, because we all know that inside this our CSS, that's where we have style.css. So make sure that this is inside a double quote if you're using double quote, but if you're using single quote, let it be consistent. Then the final thing is that you're going to tell it what type of file is this, and the type is what? Text slash CSS. So once I save this down, you're going to see that you can see the color of my text has changed to blue. So it's now seeing this CSS. So if I go here now and give it a background color by simply saying background, as you're writing it, it will have color completion. You can see it. So background color, I'm giving it a background color of white. So we're going to see now, if I save this color, this text will have a background color of white. So you can see it now. It's now having background color of white. So separation of concerns is very, very important. So I'm also going to give it a font style. To get a font style, you simply say font family. That's what you use. So which font family am I going to use? Let me give it Korea New. So this is the font family I'm giving it. If I save, you can see the font style has changed. You can see it's looking better. So if I want this CSS to be seen on other files, I must make sure I put the links on all of them. So this is the link. Make sure you close this link well. So I'm going to copy this link. Copy. Go to the various file HTML pages and put them. Make sure they are inside the header tag. So I'm going to say Ctrl S to save. Go to the services and also put it and say Ctrl S to save. Okay. So what else can I style? If I click here, I'm not seeing any style because I did not style H2. I did not style H3. So let me get back to my style sheet now. I want to style my H2 and H3. So simply copy this very style that you have. Come down, paste it into two places. Then change this one to what? H2. Then send this one to what? H3. So just simply change their colors. So the color here, instead of blue, I'm going to have red for my H2. And for my H3, I'm going to have gray. Okay, then I do Ctrl S. So if I go here now, my H1 is styled. If I click here, my H2 is also styled. You can see it's red in color. And my H3 is also styled. So that is how you can do that. So we've been able to bring in some elements. We brought in the link elements using the ahref. We brought in the paragraph element, the H1 element, and the image element. We're able to create more pages and we're able to link them up. Then we created a style sheet and linked up the style sheet. Then we did what we call separation of concerns by having our style sheets in the style sheet folder and our images in the image folder. And that's how we're able to create this simple website. So in subsequent classes, we are going to be developing more on this. So we're going to be stopping here. If you have any questions and concerns, please drop them in the comment section. Remember, everything you want is in Christ Jesus. And the easiest way to success is by being a born again. So see you when I see you next. Thank you.